She made Christian Grey a household name. Her trilogy became a phenomenon, selling more than 150 million copies worldwide. The movies banked over $1 billion at the box office. Now the 50 Shades of Grey author is back with a sexy new book. Please welcome E.L. James! Like the intro?
Thank you for having me on here. Okay,
Come on in. Okay, we got to talk a little bit about 50 Shades because, I mean, the book, the trilogy was really a phenomenon. I think you were as shocked as, you know.
I still am, frankly, yes. I mean, crikey, what happened?
Sold over 150 million worldwide, and you kind of made erotic romance mainstream. Everybody was reading it on the streetcars and the subways. Everybody's reading it on their little Kobos and their Kindles. Do you walk down the street now without being recognized?
Absolutely.
Do people know who you are?
No, it's fantastic. It's really good.
They never sort of do the double take.
Sometimes I might get the odd double take, but because you know, I'm a certain age, I'm overweight, I'm invisible. It's brilliant. I should be a spy, frankly, because I can get, you know, it just happens to women of a certain age. We become invisible. And I love it. So
that's interesting. That's an interesting take because you hear a lot about invisibility when women hit a certain age.
Absolutely.
And a lot of women don't like that. But you're saying embrace it, man.
I'm embracing it. And I sort of carry this big secret. You know, it's great. And I can go into some places and I'm in the supermarket or what have you and going, you know, it's kind of fun.
I'm a famous author. Okay, let's talk about the biggest change in your life since this happened, because you went from, you know, television producing.
Yes, then this hit big. It was such a shock, and it was in 2012. And my husband and I always refer to it as the year of the great madness because it was crazy. And you know, now I travel in the front of the plane and I have Jimmy Choo shoes, and apart from that, it's all kind of.
You were Jimmy Choo.
Who loves the pairs of Jimmy Choos? Yes.
Now the new book is The Mister, so it involves an aristocrat and his maid.
That's right. Yes.
So the sex.
Yeah.
The sex is different. I read 50 Shades. I read all of them. I was not embarrassed about it at all.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, at all. So the sex is different in this book. It's still steamy, but it's different. It's less S&M.
It's just a little bit more conventional.
It's a little bit more conventional. I want to know what your mindset is when you were writing these sex scenes. Like, do you get in the mood? Do you light a candle? Are you smoking a cigarette? Like, what's happening? What are you doing?
I have a whole playlist that for every book, and I have some Sexy Times music. So the Sexy Times music goes on.
Okay.
And I have one particular song called "Don't Fear the Reaper," but it's done for it's a sort of jazz version on an album called Prozac for Lovers. Listen to it; it's got a certain beat, and you'll go, "Oh yes, I get it," because it's a sort of strange song to be writing sex to.
That's what you do.
And "Sexy" by the Black Eyed Peas, of course.
Okay.
But I will just listen to the song over and over and over again, and just, you know, it's the rhythm that helps. That's all I'm going to say about that, because it's a daytime show. So.
Yeah, it is. But I want more. I want to know if, I mean, the scene, do you research? Is this reflective of your actual sex life with your husband? These scenes. Take a sip! Take a sip!
I'm sorry to put this image into your head, but my husband and I had a lot of fun when I was writing these books. That's all I'm going to say.
That's what we want to know.
He'd go, "You want to do what?" "Yeah, you know."
Let's just try it.
Yes. He was very accommodating, shall we say?
Good man.
You're making me blush.
How many years have you been married?
412.
412.
Yes,
so the fact that you're still researching and scenes like this, that's a good marriage.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about your boys. You have two boys.
I have two wonderful boys, yes.
They are, how old are they?
They are 24 and 22, so they're men, really.
They're men?
They're men, yes.
So I need to know this. Proud or mortified? Like,
both.
how were they? Okay,
absolutely
they're
both. You know, both in equal measure, I think. So
do they read? Do they read this stuff?
No.
Okay.
My kids are 21st century kids, so they're on YouTube and gaming and all that kind of thing. And in fact, I was saying yesterday, one of my sons came back home for his birthday, and he was reading a book. He was on the tube, he had a book, and I just cried because he had a book.
I understand that feeling. It's a big deal.
It is.
So they're proud, but they're also like, let's not talk about the sex scenes.
Oh, absolutely. No, they know that they've seen the movies, so and they don't really comment very much. The only thing, I'll probably cry saying this, the only thing that my son said, my eldest son said at the beginning of the premiere of the first movie, he said, "Look, Mum, all of these people are here because of you, and I'm so proud of you." Sorry, I get very tearful remembering that. Validation from your kids is just the best thing.
It's the best.
It is the best,
because they're the first ones to tell you that you look like a disaster, right?
Exactly. Mom, what are you doing?
So when they say something, like when they recognize something really good that you've done and achievement, it means everything. No, I'm right with you. I get it. When you wrote 50 Shades, there was sort of, this sexual revolution, it felt like, because people sort of had permission to start talking about sex and all the different ways people have sex. Me Too happened a little bit after. That happened after it came out. And I notice, and I don't know if this is on purpose, but it's very consensual, the sex in the Mister.
Well, it's very consensual in 50 Shades as well.
It is.
Just want to be very clear
feel like
about
there
that.
are so many, there's so many phrases put in and dialogue put in where you know very clearly that this is two people that are both joining in an act that they want to be a part of. They're both into it.
Yes.
What I struggled with, though, is the power disparity between Maxim, the aristocrat / model / DJ.
This is the thing that
and the maid.
I think that she is here. She's been trafficked from Albania. She doesn't have an economic power, but they're still, at the end of the day, he's a boy standing in front of a girl, asking her to love him. And I don't understand this. Is that we've become so you can't cross the class divide in your love life. I mean, that's just ridiculous. So that's what I would say to that.
Yeah. Okay. And what do you find is empowering about your characters?
I think someone to overcome what she perceives as her destiny and to go against it and to try and change what her patriarchal society has laid out for her, I think is an important thing. And she happens to fall into the lap of someone who's incredibly privileged, I think is the word. I mean, there's the difference between Maxim and Christian. Christian has earned his drive and what have you and has earned his money. Maxim hasn't. He's inherited everything.
Right.
And that's a completely different place to come from.
Totally. Are we going to see him in another movie?
Maybe. We'll see.
That sounds promising to me.